Okay, assignment 2D, solve the equation. These are more quadratic equations, but these are not the A, B. There's going to be an A and a B, but... Okay, you got to solve the equation. You got x squared plus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Again, x is going to have two answers because it's to the second power. Okay, now here's what we have to do here. You're going to put a 1 in front of the x, and that's your A, and you have a B, but now you have another number that doesn't have x. That's known as your C. Numbers that without x's are, again, x squared numbers are A's, x's are B's, and then numbers without x's are C's. Okay, so here's how we solve an ABC, okay? You know how to use a quadratic formula, but I want you to learn a different way on this one, okay? I want you to do them. So what you do on an ABC, you skip a line, you make two parentheses, okay? Equals 0. And you're going to rewrite that in two parentheses, and you do that with your T table. What you do is you take the A times the C. You take positive 1 times negative 14. That's negative 14. So it's a negative, so I need to be minusing two factors of 14 that would minus to 5. Okay, so I start dividing. 14 divided by 1 is 14. 14 minus 1 isn't 5, though. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay, so we have the two numbers. Now here's what I do. I put 1x, 1x, because it's a 1. And then I put the 2 and the 7 that I got from over here. So plus 5 means I would go plus on the bigger number. And then on minus, the signs have to be opposite, okay? Opposite, so plus, minus. Now, you got your F1, you got your F2, and you just go solve it. So 1x minus 2 equals 0, 1x plus 7 equals 0. So you're going to add a 2 to both sides. It gives you 2. Divide by 1 would still be 2. Minus 7 from both sides, 1x equals negative 7. And then divide by 1, it would just be negative 7. So those are your two answers. Okay, example number 2, we have x to the second power minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. So there's two answers. So I go to my, first make your two parentheses, okay? Instead of a line parentheses, you make two parentheses, skip a line. And you're always going to put 1x, 1x, because that's a 1. So A is 1, B is 11, C is 24. So I take the A times the C, and that would be 24. Positive 24, so now instead of minusing, we're going to add to get to 11. Okay, 24 divided by 1 is 24. 1 plus 24 is not 11, though. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 2 plus 12 is not 11. Okay, what's 24 divided by 3? It's 8, okay? So 3 and 8. Now what's 3 plus 8? That's 11, okay? So I got 3 and 8. So the minus there goes to the bigger number. And then if I'm adding, the signs have to be the same, okay? So if I have minus here, I need minus there. Now I'm good. So 1x minus 3 equals 0, 1x minus 8 equals 0. So plus 3, 1x equals 3, divide by 1, I get 3. Plus 8, 1x equals 8, divided by 1 would still be 8. So 3 and 8. Okay, my next problem, x to the second power plus 6x minus 55 equals 0. So there's two answers. So we got an A, a B, and a C. So when I have A, B, C, I want to first make two parentheses. So 1x, 1x. And then I take my A times my C. 1 times negative 55 is negative 55. So that's going to be a minus. And we're trying to get the minus to equal 6. So 55 divided by 1 would be 55. 55 minus 1 is 54. 55 divided by 2 is a decimal. Divided by 3 is a decimal. Decimal. Okay, I got 5 and 11, so I put 5, 11. And 11 minus 5 is 6. Okay, so we have the numbers. So I got plus 11 for sure, and on a minus, the signs have to be the opposite. Okay, not the same. So make that a minus. And then we have 1x minus 5 equals 0. 1x plus 11 equals 0. So you're going to add 5. That gives us 5. Divided by 1 would still be 5. Divide by 1, divide by 1, negative 11. Okay, next one, we have x to the second power plus 1x minus 6 equals 0. So there's two answers, A, B, C. So 1x, because 1x squared would be 1. Here's why I'm doing 1x. Don't write this, just watch. If I take 1x times 1x, that's 1, and then x to the second. So I'm essentially breaking that 1x to the second to 1x. Okay, then make your table. Take your A times your C. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. So it's negative, so it's going to be a minus to try to get to 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 divided by 2 would be 3. 3 minus 2 is 1, so it's 2 and 3. So plus to the 3. Notice how I'm always applying that sign in front of the B to the bigger number. Okay, minus means the signs are opposite. Okay, so if I have plus 3, I need minus 2. I just take that and rewrote it. I'm doing the opposite of the FOIL, okay, when I go from here to here. So 1x minus 2 equals 0. 1x plus 3 equals 0. So I add 2. That's 2. 2 divided by 1 is 2. Negative 3. That's what we have. Okay, next one, x to the second power plus 3x minus 18 equals 0. So there's two answers, A, B, C. Whoops, go down here and do it. Skip one line before you do that. So 1x, and I take the A times the C then. 1 times negative 18 is negative 18. Okay, it's a negative, so it's a minus, and we're trying to get the minus to equal 3. So 18 divided by 1 is 18. 18 minus 1 is not 3. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 minus 2 is not 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay. So we have 3, 6. That plus in front of the 3 goes to the bigger number. Minus, again, the signs have to be the opposite. So it's going to be 1x minus 3 equals 0. 1x plus 6 equals 0. So I add 3, 1x equals 3. Divide by 1, I'm still at 3. Minus 6, 1x is negative 6. Divide by 1, I'm still at negative 6. 3 and negative 6 are the two answers for your x. Okay, next one, I've got x to the second minus 2x minus 24 equals 0. Okay, so there's two answers, A, B, C. So in ABC, first you want to see if you can rewrite it in factored form. So 1x. 1 times negative 24. Always times the A by the C. It's going to be negative 24. So it's a negative, so it's a minus trying to get to 2. Because we have 2 in the middle. 24 divided by 1 is 24. 24 minus 1 is not 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 8 minus 3 is not 2. 24 divided by 4 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. So you got 4 and 6. So you got minus to the 6. Now again, another minus is opposite. Wish I'd get one where I'm adding. Okay, so 1x plus 4 equals 0. 1x minus 6 equals 0. So I minus 4, I get negative 4. Divide by 1, I'm still at negative 4. Okay, plus 6, 1x equals 6. Divided by 1 is still 6. So negative 4 and 6. Okay, next one. X to the second minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. So there's two answers. A, B, C. So again, 1x would be 1x. Then I take my A times by C. 1 times 8 is 8. Now it's positive 8, so we need to be adding this time to try to equal 6. So 8 divided by 1 is 8. 1 plus 8 is not 6. 8 divided by 2 is 4. That's 6. Okay. Now minus goes to the 4. And add means the signs have to be the same. So if I have minus, I need minus here. Okay, so 1x minus 2 equals 0. 1x minus 4 equals 0. So 1x equals 2. Divide by 1, you're still at 2. 1x equals 4. Divide by 1, you're still 4. Okay, next one. 1x, or x to the second minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. That's an x. So two answers. So A, B, C. So 1x, 1x. I take 1 times 10, that's 10. Positive 10. So it's another add, and I'm trying to equal 7 with the adding, so I start dividing by 10. 10 divided by 1 is 10. 1 plus 10 is not 7. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. So minus on the 5, and adding means the signs have to be the same. Okay, so 1x minus 2 could equal 0, or 1x minus 5 could equal 0. You set each one of them equal to 0. So we add 2, 1x equals 2. Divided by 1, you'd still be at 2. But you don't really need to even divide by 1. So 1x equals 5, which means x equals 5. Okay, next one, two more. X to the second power plus 13x minus 14 equals 0. So I got two answers. So 1x, 1x. Okay, 1 times negative 14 is negative 14. Okay, so it's a minus trying to get to 13. I don't have to go very far. 14 divided by 1 is 14. 14 minus 1 is 13. So plus, minus means the signs are opposite. So 1x minus 1 equals 0. 1x plus 14 equals 0. So I plus 1, 1x equals 1. So 1. And negative 14. Okay, x to the second plus 23x plus 22 equals 0. So I'm looking for two answers. A, B, C. So 1x, 1x. 1 times 22 is 22. It's positive, so it's an add, trying to get to 23. Remember, it's negative, you minus, positive, you add. 22 divided by 1 is 22. 1 plus 22 is 23. So I need plus on the 22, and then adding the signs have to be the same, so plus plus. So I'm going to have 1x plus 1, 1x plus 22. So 1x equals negative 1. Divide by 1, you'd still be negative 1. Minus 22, I get to negative 22. So x is negative 22. When it's a 1, you can divide if you want, but it stays the same.